What's up, YouTube? It's your buttery voiced host, El Heftismo, coming at you with a little bit of a different flair on my my usual reviews. I know you guys are used to my 10-second movie reviews, which I also did one of those for this particular movie, which is on my channel. If you want to catch that, go right ahead and look away. But if you're looking for something a little bit more in-depth, which I kind of was, I didn't think that just a 10-second review would be able to do this thing justice. So, for all intents and purposes, this is my more in-depth look at Bandersnatch on Netflix. If you're not familiar with what this is, Bandersnatch is an offshoot of the program Black Mirror, which I haven't seen any of the episodes, but from what I'm told, it's like the UK's version of Twilight Zone, which is pretty cool. Love the Twilight Zone. Now, this I had heard a couple things about, which really piqued my interest. When I was a kid back in the day, they had these things called Choose Your Own Adventure books. They're very popular in the 80s and the early 90s, and basically what it was, it was for kids. And you would read, and there would be decisions on some pages, and you would have to turn to a certain page to make a decision and see what, the consequence of that decision would be. And I always loved those books. My favorite I had was Space Vampire. I don't know why that one sticks out so much, but I absolutely loved those books. And I always thought that would be a really cool idea for a movie, where you kind of interact with it and you get to kind of choose how it would end. But again, this is thinking probably about 1989, 1990, and, I had no idea that you would actually someday be able to do it. So when I heard that this was what Bandersnatch is basically a Choose Your Own Adventure book, but in movie form, I was like, okay, I'll check this out. So over the course of 3 evenings, because you absolutely will not be able to get all of this in one playthrough. And I'm going to use that phrase a lot because that's basically what this movie is. It's an interactive movie video game, basically. So I'm just going to use playthrough. So 3 nights with my brother, and we were making different decisions all the time, trying to get the most out of all the different branching paths, because there are a lot of them in this. There are a lot of them. And I still think we might be missing out on a little bit, but I'm not sure. I feel we got the pretty good overall good idea of what this movie is all about. So, takes place in the 80s, 1984, and it's about, and this movie, by the way, is chock full of 80s nostalgia, from the music to the hair to the computers to even just the way the graphics look on the games on the computers. I'm going to get to that in just a second. Total 80s nostalgia, and being a product of the late 70s. I can definitely say that this accurately represents the 80s, minus the, But anyway. So you take the main character in this is a young computer programmer named Stefan, who lives in the UK with his father. There will be spoilers. I'm going to put that in the description and in the tag for the video. There will be spoilers. I'm going to try to stay away from a lot of the heavy ones because I don't want to ruin everything for everybody. I want everybody to be able to go through this and kind of see what it has to offer. But I am going to spoil some stuff, so be prepared for that. If you don't want to see that, turn the video off now and go watch it. For Christ's sake, go watch it. I'll wait a second while you guys go do that. Good enough. Okay, so like I was saying, Stefan is a young computer programmer, lives with his father. His mother was killed, you come to find out, in a train accident. And his father is kind of an off-putting guy. He looks like Bill Lumbergh from Office Space, the TPS reports guy, which I always thought was kind of funny. And Stefan is programming this game called Bandersnatch, which he is basing on a Choose Your Own Adventure book he found in his mother's belongings that he had been reading. And he basically wants to turn the Choose Your Own Adventure book into a Choose Your Own Adventure game. So he goes to promote his wares at this at a computer programming company called Tuckersoft, which is very reminiscent of Atari in the early 80s, which I thought was really funny. There's a lot of parallels to stuff in this movie, which I really dig. But so he goes to this company which puts out a lot of his idols, his favorite programmers, Colin Rittman's games. and he goes and he ends up meeting Colin. Meets the owner of this company, and the owner wants Stefan to jump on board and do the game for the company, which is where the whole meat of this story really starts. It's going to give you decisions like right from the get-go, which is kind of cool, but it's almost like a tutorial to get you acclimated to how things are going to work. Now, I was watching this on my Xbox, and every time a choice was coming up, it would rumble. My controller would rumble, which is really cool. So you got to kind of pay attention during this. So, he goes to make the video game, and shit goes down. And he, without spoiling a whole heck of a lot, you find out that Stefan is really not as in control of his destiny as he thinks. And Colin's got some real cryptic advice for him, and his dad is involved, and he's got a psychiatrist that he goes to see. And he starts really kind of questioning what's real, what's not, and rightfully so. And if he is indeed in charge of his own destiny, which it appears he is actually not. Leading to several possible outcomes, but we'll get into that in just a minute. One thing that I really liked about this movie is the social aspect of watching it. Like I said, my brother and I watched it together, and it was cool because we were able to be like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Choose those decisions, and then, good or bad, deal with the consequences. Now, it will bring you back to certain points if you, some menial, some more important plot choices. Sometimes it'll give you one screen that you can go back to or several options that you can go back to. It's pretty cool. And depending on what decisions you make will affect, because you can come back to certain decisions and it'll give you different answers that you can choose. Really, really cool. So the social aspect of viewing this is really, really awesome. There were a lot of, like I was talking about earlier with the parallels to Atari, there's a lot of parallels to Donnie Darko in this, which I absolutely love because Donnie Darko is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's phenomenal. If you guys haven't seen it, why are you watching this? Go and watch Donnie Darko. It's a phenomenal movie. Don't watch the director's cut. It's like the watered-down version of it. You got to watch the original version. That's really good. But the music is very, very reminiscent of the score in Donnie Darko. A troubled kid who has medication that he takes and sees a shrink. Stefan. It's a time travel deal. There's even one scene in particular in a bathroom with a mirror where it's got like this really ominous drone that's almost not shot for shot, but will heavily remind you of the scene where Donnie puts his hand against the mirror in the bathroom and Frank's on the other side, and such good stuff. But so very reminiscent of that, which is really awesome. It gets really meta, really, really meta. Like there'll be a point, several points where decisions you lead will lead you to a Netflix programmer. It's self-referential. It references Netflix. There's even a point where you get to, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this without really spoiling too much. Some decisions you make will lead you to, you are actually on the set. Bond doesn't know. He was in Bandersnatch. That was I just got a text. I'm not redoing the video for that. But he doesn't know that he's a character. It's very, very crazy. It gets really very meta. There are 5 different endings to this from what I understand. I'm pretty sure we've seen them all. There's unsubstantiated rumors of another ending. I can't prove or disprove this. I will probably eventually go back and sink more time into this, but I'm kind of burnt out on it now. It's absolutely a great movie. It's a good psychological, mind fuck on a lot of levels. And it's not really crazy horror-y. It's very just unsettling. And again, really cool plot, really cool theory. I really can't go into much more of the plot without giving major points away. So I'm going to cut it there as far as that's concerned. And it is absolutely worth multiple playthroughs on this. Like I said earlier, you're not going to get through all this in one playthrough. So sink some time into it. Watch it with some friends. Guys, that's going to wrap it up for this review. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this. Go out there, do good things, because nobody else is going to. If everybody did one good thing for somebody else each day, this world would not be such a shitty place. If you dig what I'm doing, please, absolutely appreciated, never necessary or mandatory. If you like the video, smash the like button. If you dig what I'm doing, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified of when I upload stuff. And guys, have a good one. And I got to go get ready for this third video, which is shaping up to be pretty spicy. I'll catch you guys soon on the next video. Thank you for watching.